Let's try this. See if that's any better. Regarding the Florida surplus, can you not see me? Oh, motherfucker. Ah. Okay. Obviously, I need to start over. Sorry, guys. I'll make this quick. I'll catch everybody up. I had to hit a transition button since obviously I'm having a lot of fun here. All right, Nesson, you asked, please outline what is included in the hybrid package and how much it costs. The hybrid is an add-on. You have to buy something else and add that on. The hybrid is going after if the people don't want to work with you, or they've passed away, you can't find them, or if there's too much debt in the way. Check to see if they went into bankruptcy anywhere from 2 years prior to the foreclosure to 2 years after. And at that point, you can get in touch with the bankruptcy court. If they did go into bankruptcy, use pacer.gov to check that. And they'll give you a 25% referral just for telling them where the money is. And they have priority in front of everybody. They can even duke it out with, believe it or not, federal tax liens. Can you talk about surplus creditor partnership program? Sure. So, Charlene, I would only get that if you already have national surplus or another surplus funds program that we have. And while national surplus or panning for hidden surplus funds is the only way I'd get that, because this is to, if there is a creditor that has a priority claim in front of the ex-owner, then this is a way to work with that creditor to retrieve the funds, and we'll partner up with that. Nesson, I already have that. Okay, got it. James, can we flip deeds with the executor of an estate? James Honeycutt. Yes, James, as long as they have already been approved as the executor and they have the right, the property was included in that estate and they have the right to transfer that property to you. Obviously, you've got to be able to get the property in your name before you pay off the debt and then flip it, right? You don't want to pay off the debt or taxes or mortgage, whatever it is, excuse me, to stop the foreclosure if you don't own the property. Regarding the Florida surplus is another word for mortgage overages called foreclosure surplus. Some of the counties aren't recognizing the name registry report. So first of all, Charlene, just so you know, Florida is a separate program for us, only in certain couple of different bundles on there. You'll see that if you go to surplusfundsriches.net. And I put everything on the banner here at the bottom of the page that you should be looking at right now. But I would go and reserve your spot, guys. Oh my gosh. Definitely reserve your spot because we're going to sell out. It'll be Monday the 1st at 10 a.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern. If you reserve your spot, even if we sell out, you'll still be able to buy. And Florida is included in a couple of different bundles. The report will have that on there, though, that you can check. So I'm not sure. And some of the counties, Charlene, this may be your question. I'm sorry. Some of the counties call it something different, sure, but you can call, if they don't have it online, the list online of what's being held, you can call and request, and that's in the Florida Surplus Funds Program. Casey, thank you for that. No, I was just screwing up. I wasn't running late. I was just messed up talking to nobody. The Gen X Files History Edition has started. Okay. Sean, what is your highest converting deed flip program? North Carolina Flipmaster, Florida, or National Deed Flip? It's a tie. So National Deed Flip, we've done extremely well, but the top two edge it out. And those are North Carolina Flipmaster and the Florida Flip. And the reason for that's simple. First of all, Florida is ridiculous. They've ripped the Band-Aid off. Okay. They're having at least one, at least on the tax side, one tax foreclosure a month in each county. So there's an insane amount of opportunity, insane amount of property to go after. North Carolina Flipmaster is unique in that North Carolina is the only state that has a 10-day upset bid. So if somebody bids the minimum amount today, the next investor waits 10 days or 9 days actually, and then outbids that person by 5% more. And they do this for 6-9 months at a time. Well, it's trying to drive each other crazy, right? While they're doing that, we can still put the deed flip together. We can buy the property from the person, pay off the taxes to stop the sale because it's in our name now, and flip the property. So North Carolina is the only state with that. I'd say North Carolina, Florida are pretty much tied up. Great question, Siobhan. Siobhan. R. Harris, is Colorado trying to keep the surplus funds for themselves, or they just don't want outsiders informing and helping claimants? So, all right, that is a great question. You're asking why we don't want to work Colorado. Besides the fact that they're just difficult, we actually heard from them, state attorney general, and it wasn't over how we retrieved. It wasn't over us contacting somebody. They didn't like that our mailing said court held funds. This was years ago. Court held funds. Now we say we have a different terminology for that. But they said, that's misleading. It's not court held. It's a department that held those funds. Really? We still had to go through the court to get the department to release it. But okay. So, I mean, they ended up fining us quite a bit. And we just said, that's it. We're fine with not working you guys anymore because you're obviously on a witch hunt. So we don't work Colorado. Florida is a separate program because the statutes are so different. It's not hard to work. It's just a separate program. It's in a couple of different bundles. North Carolina, you can only work with the panning program simply because in North Carolina, they will not give you a list of any kind. So that's the only way you can work that. There's a number of states that are non-judicial where you have to use the panning system. That's why the panning is so powerful, guys, panning for hidden surplus funds, because you're going after mortgage overages in states where you cannot get a list because the attorney, it's non-judicial, not the county, the attorney that handles the foreclosure also handles the disbursement of funds. They won't give out a list. So you have to be able to accurately figure out what the surplus is being held. And you have to follow it through the process. You got to look at opening bid, final sales price, and you've got to know different variables that you've got to put in there to be accurate. And once you do that, you end up creating your own list in the panning for hidden surplus funds, mortgage overage list, or surplus funds from mortgage sales list, your own list that nobody else is really working. And what's cool is, since we always use attorneys, our attorney can get a power of attorney from the individual when we first start talking, talk to that attorney, the attorney that's holding the money, and double check the funds and get it out very quickly. So panning has been really phenomenal. Washington, D.C., we don't work. Puerto Rico, we're not working right now. And I don't know that we're ever going to. That was kind of a thing we were thinking of, but not really right now. Other than that, it's wide open. Did you ever work Colorado in the past? Oh, yeah, I think I just answered that. And by the way, we pulled out a lot before that happened. And there you are. There it is. Okay. Yes, can see that's greedy lady. Gotcha. Here we go. Now I got to scroll down through all this. Guys, I appreciate everybody bearing with us. I know that we had a similar issue last time, but hopefully I'm using EV Mux, and hopefully this is going to help us with these. Gilani. Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm preparing to start in this business. Awesome. And have been closely studying your material. Before committing more time and money, I need clarity on key points. No problem. Hey guys, just so you know, and this will be up as a replay too. But if you go to our site, surplusfundsriches.net, on the contact us, or even if you scroll down on the main page, here's my phone number. That's my direct cell. Now listen, if you're thinking about taking advantage of the sale, September the 1st, Labor Day on Monday, starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time, ends at no later than 10 p.m. We're probably going to sell out. But if you're thinking about that and you have questions, you need to contact me tomorrow. I'm available 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And it's 704-791-9398. Don't worry about writing that down. It's on our site. It's on the main page, surplusfundsriches.net. You scroll down, my number's right there. Tells you when to call me. You guys have got to get in touch with me. I'm going to be busy all weekend. We're entertaining family. It's going to be very difficult to get a hold of me over the weekend or Monday. So if you've got questions, please reach out to me. You can also text me, and I even have an email address on that main page. YB, I'm interested in the OPM auction winner. Is this still a part of your platinum bundle? I'm going to leave that for Jeff to answer. If OPM is part of the platinum still, I don't know. I think we might have pulled that out. I'm not sure. We changed them up a little bit. Audio is garbled 2 tracks. Surplus funds go. Thank you, Jason M. Jason Moore. Good evening. This is Norman. Empress, please talk about the add-ons like Zombie Business and new surplus credit partnership. So the creditor partnership program, we will partner with you on that. And what that is you're going after deals where a creditor is in the way for the surplus. See, I know these guys aren't explaining this online. So you guys that are just starting to go down this road, understand something. If there was additional debt, a HELOC loan, a lien against the property, judgment against the person recorded in the same county as where the house was. If there was additional debt against that personal property prior to the sale, that debt, even if it was a lien against the property or a HELOC loan, even though that's kicked out by the foreclosure, as long as it's not in first position, it's kicked out against the property, it still has a priority claim to the surplus funds. And as a result, that is in first place. Now, you've got to have national surplus or panning or something else in order for that to really pay off, because it's 1 out of 10 deals that you can go after where a creditor's entitled instead of the owner. Okay, so it really is the perfect add-on, but I wouldn't work it all by itself. I just wouldn't. California, is it hard or easy? Asked Charles. Charles, good question. Man, you guys are asking a lot of great questions. So California, in the tax side, they will not review a claim for the surplus funds for a year after they recorded the deed that transferred at the tax sale. So it's usually a year and about a week after the actual tax foreclosure hit, that they won't even look at it, and it's sealed. You can't, they're not, a lot of times they're not going to even tell you if a claim's been made. So that makes it a little more difficult and you're waiting on it. That's a hard thing. Mortgage side, actually, I'm seeing a little bit of better movement here. So they are non-judicial. Okay. So it's handled by attorneys. And we actually got out of it for a while because the attorneys were able to double bill and hit for more money if they sent out crews to do door knocking and that kind of thing to find these people. They were able to actually make a little more money, but we're seeing that go away a little bit. So I would get the panning for hidden surplus if you want to work California, and that's a little higher converting than our national anyway. And it's just a great program, but I wouldn't just work where you are. Okay, don't be silly and just work where you live. That's ridiculous. Everything's online from home. It's all digital. The difference between if you're in California, you work in California or North Carolina is a millionth of a second, right? The speed of light. So work wherever you get a list. That's the simple term. Oh, the other problem with California, there's an issue here, is the counties, California taxes you to breathe. So the counties will actually hit you up to review documents if you're trying to double check debt that's against the property. That could get expensive if you have to check quite a few documents for that. I hope that answered your question, Charles. Good question. Yes, Jeff says this is the answer. OPM auction winner is in the platinum bundle. No worries. Sometimes real life comes up. That's right, Casey. I appreciate that, the understanding, Casey. YB says, okay, thanks. Norman, is Maryland a viable market for overage business? Absolutely. We have torn it up. Now, Maryland, we work both tax and mortgage, of course. That's the majority of the states. It depends on the county. Some counties pay a little bit slower. Baltimore County is a little bit slower than the others, but they still pay out. When I say a little bit slower, 3-4 months instead of 2 after we get it, approved. So it takes a little bit longer, but there's a lot of money there. I used to live, Norman, just so you know, in Woodbridge, Virginia, Prince William County in Virginia, just south of DC. And, I wasn't there. I moved down to North Carolina in 1990, so I wasn't there for the gentrification in Prince George's County and all that happened. It's amazing what happened up there. So there is a lot of money going on up there. And guys, a couple things have happened at the same time now that's going to make it really interesting. Banks have been kind of holding off on foreclosing. Okay. Really holding off on foreclosing. And I think they're going to get a little cocky now, and mortgage foreclosures are going to hit an uptick. That's because rates have gone down. I think we had a 10-month low to 6.56%. I think that was today. So the banks are going to feel better about foreclosing, and the tax entities are foreclosing just because they have to. They're running out of money, right? They're not hitting budget. So they're realizing that they have to actually foreclose on the property to get the money out of it. So that's what they're doing. Alicia says, really, Colorado? That's a bit petty. Yeah, you'd be amazed, Alicia. There's a couple of states that are playing pretty dirty. Eric, how has the stealth program worked out so far? I purchased when it first came out. It's worth continuing. Should have considered the penning. I go after the penning right now, and let me tell you. So I got some people complaining about this, and I need to be really, Eric, that's a great question, okay? I need to be really upfront with folks. So stealth, I'm still extremely excited about, and I think it's going to pay off. Right now, however, and this has happened, good Lord, since the beginning of the year, all we're seeing is people redeeming the property, paying off the taxes or whatever it is that they're facing before the foreclosure hits. Never seen it to this level. So obviously, if that happens, they're not going to work with us, right? They've paid it off. They're going to stay in the house. Never seen it that high. Couldn't have predicted it. I'm not responsible for market conditions. So right now, I would certainly say the panning for hidden surplus is your best way to go. And guys, I know it's expensive compared to other programs, $9.97, but we really limit it. I think we're going to sell 5 of them for goodness sake on the first this Monday. So I would look at that hard because it's very well converting. We really limit the number of people that we bring on it. And the reason it converts so well is it's going after mortgage overages in states where you cannot get a list, excuse me, of mortgage overages. So you have to create your own. So it takes a little bit more time to do that, right? You have to follow it through the process sometimes. But the payoff is crazy conversion. And because we work, not only are we working that, but because we also work airship, we've been working airs for about 1.5 years, 2 years, we're working everything that comes in on that. So it's been really phenomenal. Where do we find a pre-closure list from? Asked Rochelle. If you're talking about stealth, that's covered in the book. Pre-closure lists. I don't know what you mean, Rochelle. I'm sorry. Doug, I just want to know how to get started. I just recently heard about this business and got a text about this webinar. What can I do to get going? Monday, Doug, buyer program, buyer training. Get the national surplus. If you're just starting out, it's $5.97. Teaches you how to work surplus funds, tax and mortgage on your own. Also teaches you how, or gives you the option to partner with us. If you partner with us, your job is just get a list, research the debt online to make sure there wasn't additional debt that would be entitled to that surplus. Fill out our worksheet with that information and turn it in. We do the rest. We find them, call them, put the deal together, hire the mobile notary and the attorney, and give you 27% of our net when we get it out. That typically turns out to be between 8 and 9% of our gross. So if there's 50 grand we're going after, it's the average on that payout would be $4,000 to $4,500 when we get it out of court. Pretty good deal. The reason that we have that bundled together and that people love having that bundled together is you can also try to do it on your own. If you can't find the people or it's not working out, send it to us. Let it be our problem. Just game the system on us, right? Rochelle, 2 voices are going on. Audio is fine on my end. Audio is good here. Okay. I already have the overage surplus list for 3 counties in Maryland. Awesome, Norman. Now, one of the things you guys will want to do, because I get this a lot. People go, "Oh my God, I have like this list of 50 deals and I'm ready to go." Well, you got to research debt. Okay, if there was additional debt against the property, you might have nothing on that particular deal, right? And you got to make sure that the person listed on the list was the actual last owner, because sometimes that's not caught. The last owner prior to the sale. So we teach you how to do all that first of all. Okay. The second thing is, you get an ebook. That ebook is step by step. Read it twice for comprehension. Do the file example at the end. They'll cut your learning curve in half. Then there's a link from that to the resources page. Yes, there's additional video training there. This is a new skill set. You're going to learn most of this from reading. That's just how it is. You got to put work in. On top of that, on that resources page is a link to our active files list. So you would take the names off of your list. I'm not saying we have them. We might not have any of them, but take the names off of your list, double check our list, which we update Monday through Friday to make sure we already have them. That way you don't lose any time or waste any time researching something we already have. We do not have a saturation issue in this business, but it's great that we're that transparent. We update that Monday through Friday. So her, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. I'm sorry. Have you tried New York since open, and what are your thoughts? So we were already working New York. So the problem with New York before is occasionally we get somebody to get a list. Great question. Okay. We get somebody that would get a list and we call to confirm the funds after we got them on a contract, and the county would say, "We'll call you back in a couple of days." And then call back a couple of days and go, "Sorry, we don't have any money." And during that time period, they would send it to the state. Dirty, 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 very dirty. Now they're not doing that. I think somebody slapped their hand on that. So anyway, yes, I think New York's great as long as you can get an accurate list. Alicia, good audio on my end too. That's great, Alicia. That's a great profile shot of you. Beautiful goddess. Is the process the same for tax and mortgage overages? For us, it is, yes. If not, do you have a video discussing the process? I couldn't have paid somebody better to get that question. Guys, when you're done with this video, if you haven't already, go to the site, for goodness sake, surplusfundsriches.net. Should be right down on the banner. I don't know if you can see it on my, anyway, right down on the banner below me, surplusfundsriches.net. There is a link on there, and it'll be up, so you don't have to do it right now, but there's a link on there, And that link will take you to, or there's a link that says free training, video training. It's an hour and 5-minute training. Go watch that. You're going to love it. And it's great. Our timing's perfect. Today's Thursday. The sale's on Monday. It'll really get you. Watch that a couple times, and it'll show you the process step by step. I'm amazed how much we put into that. Missed my question. Can I repost it to John? Yes, go ahead. Normans, hey, Tyrone, nice to see you. Gilani, is the file cap across? Yes. If so, the feeling is fixed to bundles raised volume by no. It's a total volume. So, guys, what we do have a cap, a max of 100 files. It's a lot per month. Now, two things about that. One, that is a lot. Okay. And yes, that's a total you can turn in. And that's because we're set up. If you're going to partner with us, we're not set up to partner with people that are going to have a bunch of virtual assistants doing work for them and you're cramming it down our throat. We're getting all this stuff. We're working with individuals one-on-one. And we've got people that have stayed with us for 5, 6, 7 years. We also have people that do it for a year and put some money in their pocket and go and do it on their own, whatever. But we don't want to work with large teams. So we kind of cap that out. Now, having said that, if you hit 100 and you were consistently right at that 100 mark and you called me and you were doing extremely good work, I would consider having a conversation with you. Now, I want to bring something else up, guys. This is very, very important. If you hear nothing else, listen. We do commission advances. So once we get one under contract, I'm going to contact you. When I say under contract, that means not only verbal commitment, but we've gotten the mobile notary in front of them. We got the contracts back from them. We got everything that we need, and the attorney has verified funds, and we're ready to go. At that point, I let you know. Okay. When I let you know, on the first one, you can take in advance. You don't have to, up to $597. And then the second one you can take in advance, and everyone thereafter up $500 if you want it. The reason I bring that up is I understand that inflation has been insane, but we've actually kept our prices down. $597 for the national, $997 for the pending. There's other ones available. You can check it out on the page. But having said that, guys, it would actually be possible because we're going to pay you when we get under contract, not when we get. We'll give you the advance when we get it under contract. You don't have to wait for that for your full payment, when we get it out. So it would actually be possible to get your purchase price back before your credit card statement hits. That was our whole purpose in pushing that this time around, and that's really important. YB, what about Oregon? Is it a good state to work or is it not workable? No problem with it. I'd heard they're slowly opening their doors to surplus retrievals. No, that's fine. And by the way, I'm going to make a little claim here. And if anybody wants to prove me wrong, get in touch with me. I believe it was Wisconsin. We were the first ones in when they opened the doors. They didn't have any money, even though the sale had just happened and the court hearing had happened and said, you guys have to pay these people back. We were the first ones in. And we had to actually negotiate and get 75% of what was supposed to have been held from them because our claimant was fine with it. They just wanted to get paid. But having said that, that was really, that was an ego stroke knowing that we were the first ones in the state. Kimberly, I live in Colorado and will not work Colorado. Law just changed on tax overages and they had a year to implement and it's still chaotic. Not all counties have not completed it. Yeah, look, Kimberly, I don't like Colorado. They're just not doing it right out there. Look, I love the area, I like going to Red Rock. Renewed. Our bundle we fit was the Vice was that 1,600. What does that include again? Well, our bundle we fit was the Vice. I'm going to have to ask you that again. I don't understand what you're asking me, Renewed. Eric, hey, Kimberly, I'm from Colorado as well. Plenty of other state and opportunities elsewhere. Yeah, guys, remember, you can work. Definitely don't get, a lot of people do this. They pigeonhole and try to work just their state. Notice researchers like Pete, great job, by the way, landing most deals. It's not that he's landing most deals. He's turning in more than anybody else, period. Now, Yuri's close behind, and Yuri's been doing well. It's just his checks have been taking a little longer to pay out. But and there's some other ones that are on there. Serena, there's a couple of people that are consistent. Ken, there's a couple of consistent people. What separates top closers? It's turning in a lot of files, submitting more files. Yes. Doing things like their own skip trace. No. If you do skip tracing and you turn that file into us, we're going to ignore it. Don't do that. If you're partnering with us on a program where we're supposed to skip trace, we will ignore it. And whatever you do, It says right on the worksheet, put the deed holders down. Don't go, oh, by the way, I changed that to these 4 heirs because I saw an obituary. And no, 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 no. We're going to throw all that away. Don't do that. You're screwing us up. We will figure that out. We get people, and I'm not making fun, but we get people that they really think if I do more work, it's like a gold star. And no, do exactly what we need because you'll screw up the process. Kimberly says, agree. Is HUD starting to release their foreclosures? Yeah, of course, that's going to be bank owned. Okay, well, okay. So you're seeing HUD where they took it back to, in some instances, you're seeing them start to release that. And yes, you're going to start to see foreclosures across the board. Like I said, I think the banks are going to get a little happy, a little cocky, and they have a right to. And they're going to be like, okay, we're going to start letting these foreclosures. We need to get this stuff off our books. Kimberly says, Eric, I agree with the Empress. Do you think lists are oversaturated by researchers? No, I don't. Karen, what is the free training about? So it's a free 1 hour. Karen, go watch it. It's a free 1 hour, 5-minute video training you can check out. It's there 24 hours a day on surplusfundsriches.net. Watch it. It gives you a great overview of the process. Jelani, since the 100 file cap limits volume, my concern is focus. If your team is supporting too many people, oh, no. See, Jelani, you're missing the whole point. Okay. If we did not care about the number we were working with, we were like, we'll make it work or whatever, we would sell our program every day. We sell our program a day or 2 out of the month, and we audit it, and that's what determines how many we're going to sell the next time around. So we're very tight with that. That is a great question, but yeah. How many are active today? It depends on which program you're talking about. You'd be surprised. A lot of people start with us and then they start doing their own thing down the road. And then I've got people that have been with us for years and they are just awesome and they work really hard and stick with us. I'd say at any given time, we probably have 20, 30 guys for 3,000 plus counties, both tax and surplus, tax and mortgage overages. So I think there's no saturation really there. Eric, my apologies. I had a meeting. That's cool. Angel. In Texas, on an HOA foreclosure for 8K, and the bidder, of course, it's bid to its highest. Still, does remainder become a surplus, or is it still in a redemption period before a surplus? So HOAs are treated. That's a great question, Angel. And I'm gonna answer you from a national perspective. Just keep in mind, I check the statutes on this too. But HOAs in the majority of states are treated like mortgages. However, a mortgage foreclosure is treated like that in Texas. That's how that's going to be treated. Okay. Alicia, thank you, Sean. You are looking well today yourself. You're very welcome, Alicia. Renewed. Is this market we're in now best for foreclosure and surplus rather than when the market goes down? So we're recession proof. So when we're in this, where we're going to see the market kind of sputter and gain a little bit of steam as we go and more foreclosures hit, it's going to be, the average is going to come up a little bit. It was fluctuating about 10 years ago. It was fluctuating. The average was 20, 25,000. I kid you not. Okay. COVID hit. And by 2022, our average was around 50 grand as far as tax or mortgage overage. That number actually over this last year was, I would say, it probably fluctuated back down a little bit to about 47. So not a big difference, but I think we're going to see it pop up again. It never goes bad though. We're recession proof. Surplus is the way to go. In a down market, you get more people losing their homes, and you still have investors that have their powder dry. They have the money in their mattress, so they're going to come and buy it. Renewed. I jumped on board with a friend with this. We haven't started our course yet, so forgive me for not knowing how much and asking silly questions. It's okay. Just listen. If you bought it, read it. And listen, guys, so this is how it works when it's partnered, okay? And we make this very, very clear. We've had husband and wives. We've had wife and daughter, or mom and daughter, dad and son, whatever, or two business people together. Support is going to respond to one email address, whatever email address was used when you bought, okay? And we're not going to respond to two email addresses. And we will pay a company or a person just one, either a company or a person. If there's two of you, we've gotten into it before where two people were partnering up and then they started arguing about who actually did a file. So we don't do that. We're not a payroll company. We will pay one person or one company for a purchase per purchase. So that's important that you understand that. And support will only go answer questions for one email, and you need to send your submissions in off of one email address. That's how we're going to do that. Is this a sales webinar or a training webinar? Can you provide me with training schedules? And if I can't attend a training, is there a reply? So good question, Eloise. So our training we've got a free 1 hour, 5-minute video training that you can watch that goes you through very in depth, by the way, at surplusfundsriches.net. You can watch that whenever the heck you want. But we sell our programs. We sell the actual training that goes really in depth, has the contracts and all that. It'll be available Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern, unless we sell out, at surplusfundsriches.net. And as far as the training that we do, you have a step-by-step ebook that's a PDF format. You got to read that twice for comprehension. You got to do the file example at the end of it. It's only about 50 pages if you're going to partner with us for most programs. Do the file example at the end of it. That'll cut your learning curve in half. And then, yes, there's a link from each ebook to its own resources page with additional video training that's ancillary. You don't really need it. You need to read that ebook, okay? Read that. And look, this is not a difficult business. It's just very important that you get stuff down. Also, if we're using the same terminology, then you can ask support questions. We have email-based support built in. You can ask support questions and support will get back with you quickly and know what you're talking about. Okay. So there's not a scheduled training. It's completely at your pace. Kimberly says, another great meeting. Thank you. Have another great meeting. Thank you for all you offer and do. Okie dokie, I will. Says Karen. Support. Probate Solutions. This is a great Q&A webinar. To view upcoming webinars, go here. And yes, sorry. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm sorry. Might have misunderstood you. Jeff might be just my business partner. He's the moderator on this. And he, by the way, writes the majority of the ebooks. So he's right. There will be additional YouTube. We're going to start doing these again consistently. There's going to be additional videos available for you. YouTube streams. Does the training include how to find attorneys to file the probate? Yes, and how to find. We use attorneys on everything, but we teach you how to do it that way if you're going to do it on your own, and also using assignments and other methods. Starting tonight, says Renewed. That's great. Get rolling. Yes, it's mine. Thank you for explaining. Alicia, since I'm a newbie, July, I can only submit 3 files. Okay, great. In the meantime, I'm learning other states and counties until I qualify to submit new faces. Basically, keep learning. Alicia, so here's the 3-file rule. I'm glad you brought that up. You kind of metered it first. Then here's what you do. You turn in your first file. It gets approved. It'll show up on that active files list that's built in on your resources page. Then you'll know it's approved. You can turn in the second one. Once you know that one's approved, you can turn in the third. Once you've got 3 that are approved, you can turn as many as you want per day, up to 100 a month. No problem. The reason we did that is people would get the program and turn in 10 files right out of the chute. There'd be an issue with each one. Okay. And yes, we get kind of picky on that. They've got to be done correctly. But usually it's a major issue. You forgot to fill out the end of the worksheet. That's the file. Good Lord. Summary at the end, something like that. Or you forgot to include the deed. But we had people turning in 10 at a time. There'd be an issue with all 10. They'd get completely disappointed and just leave. Now you're kind of learning as you submit. And you also have email-based support through Jeff. He gets back in 1 business day typically. And then on top of that, you've got these live webinars. Here we go. Do you see very many viable commercial property tax overages, or what about mortgage overages? Our system teaches you mortgage and tax. I think mortgage are just as powerful, if not more so, than tax overages. Once I purchase the program, is there an SMS script? Okay, Norman, I'm going to tell you right now. You do not want to use text. You need to call people and mail them. Texts make you sound like a scam. Hey, it makes you sound like you're going, hey, you've got an uncle in Arabia that has a will. You're in the will. You're a great grandkid, and you just sound like a scam. You've got to call. You got to mail. That's what works. Alicia says, I have 3 approved, so keep turning them in, Alicia. Keep rolling. You're on a roll. Tamira, I'm from New Jersey. How can I be a part of your team and find you the houses you want to be both, so we both get paid. Buy the program. If you want, Tamara, if you want to do a flip, get the national deed flip. That'll be available for sale. I believe it might even be bundled with the national surplus. If you want to do surplus funds, get the national surplus or the panning for hidden surplus funds. Then that'll give you the training, it'll give you the partnership option, and you can get rocking. YB, ever considered opening doors to land flips or retrievals? So just so you know, YB, I don't care what it is. We'll work it on surplus funds. We've done boat slips before that were deeded. I don't care if it's vacant property. Can I get started early and just buy your programs now? Eager to start. So it's Monday. I appreciate that, Shalani. You're welcome to get a hold of me tomorrow. But it's Monday. I mean, come on, guys. Be there early, 10 a.m. Eastern time at surplusfundsriches.net. Click on the products tab. Now, what'll happen? Those of you guys have been to the page. You're like, okay, well, what do I do next? So that products page at 10 a.m. Eastern time on the 1st, Monday, September 1st, Labor Day, it will flip and become a buy page. It'll become a different page. If you don't see that at 10 a.m., refresh the page and it'll become a buy page. Alicia says, thank you. You're welcome. Norman says, thanks. Generally, in your partnership program, this is Milo. How many hours does some need to work? It depends on, so we're independent contractors, Milo. I get people all the time go, how long do I have to work? You're an independent contractor. It's up to you. What I have heard and what I saw when we were doing it, and by the way, we don't compete with you. We only work deals that are turned in by you guys. But what I saw was once you get good, 20 to 30 minutes max to research a file. At first, it'll take 30 to 45 because you're learning a new skill set, right? But after that, it's not going to take you, it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes max to research a file. My email has changed since I purchased. How should I notify you? Mojo working. So if you signed up and signed the independent contractor agreement online, go on there and do it again on your resources page and let us, you just put your new contact information in there. Credit repair with Kevin. You work with wholesalers, any programs? Yeah, the national deed flip, Kevin. I'd get a hold of that one. If you're going to call the people yourself, the deed flip 30 actually pays you 30% of our net. I'm not kidding. The average net's over 30, is over 50 grand at least, because we buy the junk. We buy stuff it's falling apart because we can buy it for nothing, pay off the taxes or whatever debts against it for nothing. And flip it to investors, kind of like what you're doing, very, very quickly. But we're using actual cash so we can actually close on the deal and do it very, very quickly. Let me see here. Yeah, national. So again, Kevin, credit repair, Kevin, national deed flip or deed flip 30, or get them both. Is the state waiting period listed in the ebook? Like how many years does each state make you wait before you're able to go after what? How many years? We go after right away. There are some that make you wait through the redemption period, which can be up to a year, and that's the most I've ever seen. Most of them pay you right out, and most of them actually with redemption periods will pay you out anyway because by retrieving the surplus, you cancel your right to redeem. For the sale, go to surplus. Here you go. Jeff actually put the direct link in here, guys. You can click on that. I would reserve your spot. Listen, reserve your spot. If you got a chance right now, I'm going to be on here for another 10 minutes or so. If you got a chance, click on that link Jeff just put up there if you can. Okay. Click on that link, go there, scroll down, and there's a place where you can reserve your spot. Put your name and phone number and email in there and reserve your spot. The reason is it'll also capture your IP address. So let's say you get there at 10:30 and and you wanted to get panning for the surplus funds and we already sold out of it. You know what? It caught your IP. It'll show it as something you can still buy. Reserving your spot is important. You really need to do that. It's surplusfundsriches.net. If you're watching this later, click on products. You'll have to enter your information. It'll drop you on the page, and you can scroll down and reserve your spot. It'll probably be taken down Sunday, so latest. So I'd do that as soon as you can. Okay, Karen, how to get the product page on the first Monday. So you just go to the products page, Karen, surplusfundsriches.net, click on products, and there'll probably be a banner up top too. But click on the products tab, put your information, it'll drop you on the products page. Also, there'll be a link. I'll put a link in. I'll tell you what, tomorrow this will go live, and I'll also go into the description on this and give you guys a direct link where you reserve your spot. That page at 10 a.m. Eastern time on the 1st of September, Labor Day, 10 a.m. Eastern time will flip and it will become a buy page. Get there early. Guys that have been watching this for a while know that we've gone up on price and we're doing that again. Amy, which programs do you think has the highest return profit-wise for us as researchers? I would say because we pay 40% of net and because of what it is and the conversion rate, Amy, if you can afford it, the number one would be panning for the surplus funds. I'd get that one. If you can't afford that, that's $9.97. Get the national surplus for $5.97. It's not far behind. Of course, guys, look, the way we do bundles is real simple. As we get higher and higher bundles, you get a ridiculous amount in the bundle for what you're paying. So I believe the platinum is up there for $19.97, and that's 20 programs. Obviously, you're not going to get cheaper than $100 a program. So if you can afford $2,000, that's the way to go. But panning at $9.97. Normally, panning is only available in that platinum bundle for $19.97. So, and we're only going to sell, I think, 5 of those. So I'd get early and buy the heck out of that program if you've got the money for it. Never listen. You're never going to hear this from somebody selling stuff online. If it's going to stretch you, if it's going to make you not afford not afford food for your family, put you in a bad place with your rent or your mortgage or whatever it is, don't buy my program. Don't. You need to take care of yourself first, get another job, get yourself financially prepared, then you come on board. Bottom line. Thanks for answering, Sean Moja. Sorry if I didn't answer. Milo, I'm a partner and purchased older program. Do I need to purchase again to obtain no? Milo, there's a link inside your ebook, your program that goes to a resources page. Any updates will be on there. You can still roll. Listen, I know life comes up. I know there's no expiration to start this stuff. Amy says, thank you. Trying to see if there's another one. Hey, guys, we're at a stopping point. I'm going to go ahead and remind you 2 things. Go to surplusfundsriches.net, click on products. Okay, do this tonight. Scroll down to the bottom of that page and reserve your spot. That'll get you notifications, reminders of the sale, and will allow you to buy even if we sell out. Second thing, extremely important. You can call me if you have questions before the sale. Do it tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. This number is also on the page on our website, surplusfundsriches.net, 704-791-9398. Guys, Johnny, that's a personal thing. Cheryl, do you have Deals Board video coming soon? Yes, and probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Hey guys, thanks again for coming out.